She puts in a good word with her dad. Oh my god! Wait, I think this series is gonna follow the kids. I go around, I go around, and I go around, and I go around. Okay, so today I'm gonna do something that I've never done before, but I kind of like this concept. Like, I do want to kind of introduce it every single season because I feel like, you know, it's fun and I find out about books that I didn't know about and you guys find out about books that you probably didn't know about either. But yeah, before we start getting into anything, if you're new here, my name's Mila. I make everything from college, lifestyle, and bookish type content. So if that sounds fun, and definitely hit the subscribe button and leave a thumbs up so I know that you guys enjoy these type of videos. I'm sorry, I'm like so thirsty. So let me just open my Notion. I have a list of everything on the day that they're going to be released, and I guess we're just going to go on Goodreads and we're going to like read the summaries, kind of talk about the books, see what we're excited for. I was thinking of organizing them based off of like genre, but I feel like it makes more sense to organize based off of like date of release. So let's let me just open Goodreads right over here so it's easier to like go back and forth. Can we open, or we don't want to open? So the first book is The Lie of Us by Callie Mel. Now at least try to pronounce it. This has actually already came out. It came out on September 1st. So this is a little sports romance. It's actually the second book in a duology. Okay, I don't know why on Goodreads there wasn't a blurb, but I went to another site and there's a blurb, so let's just like go through the blurb. Winter Rain left Orchid City 6 years ago with a broken heart and never once looks back. She put it all in the past and was living the life she always dreamed she'd have. She had her dream job in publishing and figure skating, which I love because I was a figure skater when I was younger, so I love when like our main characters are figure skaters. Yet something was missing and she was still haunted by those stormy blue eyes. When her parents abruptly decide to move south and leave their estate in Winter's name, she has no choice but to visit the town she has spent her time actively avoiding. Oh my god, English is hard. She leaves everything she built behind and finds herself face to face with the very person who broke her heart many years ago. Malachi Barclay traveled the world as a professional golfer running from his own demons, but his heart was never with him. Which I never read a golfer romance, so I'm kind of like intrigued by that. It lived outside of his body, deep in the chest of the girl he had always loved. He pushed her away 6 years ago because he thought he was protecting her, but he was wrong. He brought the two of them so many years of heartbreak. The time was lost, but he has the chance to make things right again. Knowing that Winter is back in their hometown sends Malachi back to where it all started, and he has no intention of letting her go again. I feel like this is more like lighthearted compared to the other books that we have, because a lot of them are fantasy or like thrillers or stuff like that. So and the cover's like super cute. Like, do we see this cover? It's adorable. So I'm super excited to get to this. The first book, I don't know what it's about. I'm guessing it's probably also another like sports romance type of thing. So super excited about this one. And now for September 5th, we actually have a lot of books coming out on September 5th. This one I'm not really going to give you a summary of because one, I haven't read book 1, and 2 was like book 3 in the little series, and that's Things We Left Behind by Lucy Score. Beautiful cover. I own book 1, have not read it. I don't own book 2, but I do definitely want to get to them before 2024. I don't know whose book this is about, but I really want to get to the series eventually. The next one that comes out on the same day is Suddenly a Murderer by Lauren Munoz. And something that I love about this is that it's kind of how it's like a 1920s vibe. I don't know what it is, but I really like the 1920s. It's just like something about the era. So when I saw that this book was kind of like not set at that time, but kind of like had that theme going on, I was like, sold, I need it. Someone brought a knife to the party. To celebrate the end of high school, Izzy Morales joins her ride or die bestie Cassidy and 5 friends on a 1920s themed getaway at the glamorous Ashwood Manor. There, Izzy and her friends party in vintage dresses and expensive diamonds until Cassie's boyfriend turns up dead, murdered, investigators declare. When they arrive at the scene, and now every party guest is a suspect. There's a girlfriend in love, the other girl in despair, the old friend forlorn, the new friend distress, the brooding enigma, and then there's Izzy, the girl who brought the knife. To find the killer, everyone must undergo a grueling interrogation, all while locked in an estate where suddenly the greatest luxury is innocence. Really excited to see what goes on over here. I did read a book that kind of like goes with this like dinner party type theme, and I really enjoyed it. The next one is The Long Game by Elena Armas. I read the Spanish Love Deception. I absolutely loved it. Like, I read it when I was in Spain and I was like, this is absolutely perfect. I have not read the second book, The American Roommate Experience, I want to say. I don't know who this book is about. I'm looking at the last name and I think it's, I forgot their names. I think it's maybe the main, like someone related to the main girl in the Spanish love deception, solely based off the last name, but let's just like read through the little blurb. Adeline Reyes has spent years perfecting her daily routine. Wake up at dawn, drive to the Miami Flames FC offices, try her hardest to leave a mark, go home, and repeat. But her routine is disrupted when a video of her in an altercation with the team's mascot goes viral. Rather than fire her, the team's owner, who happens to be her father, sends Adeline to middle of nowhere, North Carolina, where she's tasked with turning around the struggling local soccer team, the Green Warriors, as a way to redeem herself. Her plans crumble among discovering that the players wear tutus to practice, impractical, keep pet goats messy, and are terrified of Adeline, counterproductive, and are 9-year-old kids. It's actually kind of cute. At first with the tutus thing, I was like, what? To make things worse, also in town is Cameron Caldenai, goalkeeping prodigy whose presence is somewhat of a mystery. Cam is a perfect candidate to help Adeline, but after one very unfortunate first encounter involving a rooster, Cam's leg, and Adeline's bumper, oh wow, okay, fun, he's also set on running her out of town, but banishment is not an option for Adeline, not again. Helping this ragtag children's team is her road to redemption, and she's playing the long game, with or without Cam's help. This actually sounds kind of fun, like, oh my, I'm actually really excited for this. We have 2 more books that come out on September 5th. So there's The Library of Shadows by Rachel Moore. This, I don't know how I found out about it, but I was like, this actually sounds really cool. So Radcliffe Prep, the 3rd most haunted school in the country, where a student disappearance isn't uncommon and no one dares stay in the library after dark. And Estee Lagano enrolls with the hopes of finding her dead father. Not literally, of course. She doesn't believe in ghosts. Going to her dad's school just seems like her best hope in figuring out who he was. But then Estee meets Mateo, who is maybe, probably, definitely a real ghost, and an annoying one at that. When Mateo frames Estee for the theft of a rare book from the library's secret spire, and then vanishes, Estee will have to track him down or risk being expelled and leaving Radcliffe early just like her father did. Except, following her father's footsteps might be more dangerous than Estee ever anticipated. As she investigates the library with its secret passageways, hidden tunnels, and haunted halls, she learns that the student disappearances aren't just myths, and if she isn't careful, she'll be next. I find it kind of like cute, kind of interesting, and the cover, I'm sorry, but the cover, I'm in love with this cover. Honestly, like, what really sold me was the cover, and I was like, let's look at the premise, because based off this cover, I'm like, I want to own this book, I want to read it. And the last book that's released on September 5th is There's No Way to Die First by Lisa Springer, which is also a thriller. My mistake, I wrote down the wrong title in my Notion page. It's actually called There's No Way I Die First. And this is a fun little interesting twist on a thriller. So as you can see, there's like a little thingy in the back with an umbrella. Just listen to this. Noelle Lane knows horror. Every trope, every warning sign, every survival tactic. She even leads a successful movie club dedicated to the genre. Thus, who better to throw the ultimate, most exclusive Halloween party for all of Long Island? And with a guest list including the coolest kids in her senior class, her popularity is bound to spike. And, oh my god, this is a hard sentence. Hopefully enough to warrant an expansion into podcasting. Plus, the fact that attractive singer-songwriter Archer Mitchell is coming is honestly the candy corn on top. Nothing is going to kill her party vibes. I need to sneeze. Except maybe the low-budget it clown she hires to lead a classic round of tag. He's supposed to be terrifying, though in a comforting, nostalgic way. Instead, this guy's giving major creep. But maybe Noelle's just that good at hosting, right? Her confidence is immediately rocketed when the night's entertainment acts as one of the guests. And he's not done yet. If an evil murderous clown thinks life is a game, then Noelle is ready to play. She's been waiting a long time to prove that she's a final girl. So it's like a little murder mystery party gone wrong, and I've never read something like this, so I'm super intrigued. Also, it had like the clown from It. Very excited to see how this book is gonna be. And that's all for September 5th. So let's move on to September 12th, and we have 2 books. I read Bunny by Mona Awad. I was in love. It was so, like, I still look back on like the last page and I'm like, I don't know what to think of it. And we have another book by Mona Awad that comes out on the 12th. That's called Rouge. For as long as she can remember, Belle has been insidiously obsessed with her skin and skincare videos. The same. When her estranged mother Noelle mysteriously dies, Belle finds herself back in Southern California dealing with her mother's considerable debt and grappling with lingering questions about her death. The stakes escalate when a strange woman in red appears at the funeral. offering a tantalizing clue about her mother's demise, followed by a cynic, oh my god, no, followed by a cryptic video about a transformative spa experience. With the help of a pair of red shoes, Belle is lured into the barbed embrace of La Maison de Méduse, the same lavish culty spa to which her mother was devoted. There, Belle discovers the frightening secret left behind, and her mother's obsession with the mirror, and the great shimmering depths and demons that lurk on the other side of the glass. So honestly, from the blurb, I'm not really getting much, but it is Mona Awad, so I know it's gonna be a little like horror going on. I know it's gonna be like kind of gothic. I know there's gonna be a little like what the hell is going on factor. So I'm super excited to read Mona Awad again. I know she also released All's Well. I think I haven't read that yet. I haven't had the chance to pick it up, but I do definitely want to pick it up at some point. We also have a start of a series by Jennifer L. Armentrout. I have not read anything from her. I have a lot of books of hers on my like computer. I eventually want to read TBR. I do own From Blood and Ash, I think it's From Blood and Ash. Have not read that yet. I definitely want to get to that this year. I don't know if this series is connected to that series, because I know that series is connected to another series. I don't know, because obviously I haven't read that, but let's just like read through what this book is about. She lives by her intuition, he feeds on her pleasure. Long ago, the world was destroyed by gods. Only 9 cities were spared. Separated by vast wilderness, teeming with monsters and unimaginable danger, each city is now ruled by a guardian. Royalty who fed on mortal pleasure. Yikes, that was hard. Born with an intuition that never fails, Callista knows her talents are of great value to the power-hungry of the world, so she lives hidden as a courtesan of the Baron of Archwood. In exchange for his protection, she grants him information. When her intuition leads her to save a traveling prince in dire trouble, the voice inside her blazes with warning and promise. Today, he'll bring her joy. One day, he'll be her doom. Oof. Oh, that sounds thing. When the Baron takes an interest in the traveling prince, and the prince takes an interest in Callista, she becomes the prince's temporary companion. But his city simmers with rebellion. And with knights and monsters at her city gates and the hungry prince in her bed, intuition may not be enough to keep her safe. Callista must follow her intuition to safety or follow her heart to her downfall. This sounds so good. Like, I need to start reading Jennifer L. Armentrout. I have so many books that I need to read. But oh my god, I have to start reading her. And that's all for September. If you guys know any other books that are coming out in September, definitely leave them down below so I can find out about them. English is like not working today. And add them to my like never-ending TBR. And also so you can share them with other people. And let's go to October. Okay. So a book that I'm super excited for is coming out in October 3rd to be exact. I have no clue what it's about. I just saw that it was coming out and I'm like, add to cart. I have it pre-ordered. That's how excited I was to do it. And I never really pre-order books. And that's Wildfire by Hannah Grace. I read Icebreaker, 5 stars, so good. So good. I read it almost a year ago, right? So I don't remember if this guy was a friend of Nate's. I feel like he was, because his name does sound very familiar, but again, it was like such a long time ago. Let's just read over the blurb. Maple Hill's students, Russ Callahan and Aurora Roberts, cross paths at a party celebrating the end of the academic year, where the drinking game results in them having a passionate one-night stand. Never one to overstay her welcome or expect much from a man, Aurora slips away before Russ ever has a chance to ask for her full name. Imagine their surprise when they bump into each other on the first day of the summer camp, where they are both counselors, hoping to escape their complicated home lives by spending the summer working. Russ hopes if he gets far enough away from Maple Hills, he can avoid dealing with the repercussions of his father's gambling addiction, while Aurora is tired of craving attention from everyone around her and wants to go back to the last place she truly felt at home. Russ knows breaking the camp's strict no staff fraternizing rule. We love that rule. We love to break that rule. We'll have him heading back to Maple Hills before the summer is over, but unfortunately for him, Aurora has never been very good at caring about the rules. Will the two learn to peacefully coexist, or did their one-night stand together start a fire they can't put out? This is like very different. This is like summery vibe, so I'm surprised this is getting released in like October, but you know that once it comes out, I'm gonna read it because oh my god, I'm so excited. I wonder if we're gonna have a little cameo from Nate, and does he call her Stassi? Like, I don't know if he calls her Stassi or if I'm confused with Vanderpump Rules Stassi. I don't know. I started watching Vanderpump Rules. It's so good. It's so good. So good. 100% recommend. So an author that I really love, that I almost read every single book by her so far, is coming out with a new, I want to say, I don't know if it's a series or not, but it's called Throne of the Fallen by Carrie Maniscalco. It says that it's an adult debut, so that's exciting, because I think Stalking Jack the Ripper was much more like YA, but like not really like YA. There was Kingdom of the Wicked, Kingdom of the Curse, and Kingdom of the Feared, which is more like new adult, and this is adult. It doesn't say on Goodreads if it's a series or not, but I think hearing somewhere that it was a series, I don't know, but I'll honestly eat up everything that she writes, because, I just love her characters. Sinner, Villain, Ruthless. These are the wicked names the Prince of Envy welcomes. Okay, so I guess it's part of the same world? Yeah, it's probably part of the same world as Kingdom of the Feared, Kingdom of the Wicked. Yeah, Kingdom of the Wicked. They remind him what he isn't, a saint. And when a cryptic note arrives signaling the beginning of a deadly game, he knows he'll be called much worse before it ends. Riddles, hex objects, anonymous players, nothing will stand in his way. With a powerful artifact and his own future at stake, Envy is determined to win. Though none of his meticulous plans would prepare him for her, the frustrating artist who ignites his sin and passion like no other. Talented, darling liar. The trouble with scoundrels and blackguards is that they haven't a modicum of honor. A fact Miss Camilla Antonius learns after one desperate mistake allows notorious rake and satire sheet legend Lord Philip Vexley to blackmail her. And now it seems Vexley isn't the only scoundrel interested in securing her unique talents as a painter. To avoid Vexley's clutches and a ruinous scoundrel, Camilla is forced to enter a devil's bargain with Waverly Green's newest arrival, enigmatic Lord Ashford Sinton, little expecting his game will awaken her true nature. Together, Envy and Camilla must embark on a perilous journey through the shifting isles, from glittering demon courts to the sultry vampire realm, and encounters with exiled fae while trying to avoid the most dangerous trap of all, of falling in love. So it's definitely set in the same world as that world. I'm very excited. I don't know if she's gonna kind of like go through all the princes of hell, because I feel like we did see Envy more than other princes. Okay, is it just me, or if you've read the series, Camilla's name seems very familiar. I don't know if it's just me like inventing things, if there was someone called Camilla. Was it our main character's friend? Like, did she have a best friend called Camilla, or a cousin, or someone called Camilla? Like, I could have sworn someone is called Camilla in that series. This book, I honestly don't know what it's about. I just saw the cover and it was compared to Verity and Flicker in the Dark. Flicker in the Dark, you basically have the main character's father who's a serial killer. I haven't read the book, but the premise sounds so cool. And Verity, I feel like so many people read Verity, and we know how crazy Verity is. And it's the same author as In My Dreams I Hold a Knife, a book that I have not read, but this sounds very promising. And that is Midnight is the Darkest Hour by Ashley Winstead. Unfortunately for Ruth, the only thing the townspeople fear more than God and the devil are the myths that haunt the area, like the story of the Low Man, a vampiric figure set to steal into sinners' bedrooms and kill them on moonless nights. When a skull is found deep in the swamp next to the mysterious carved symbols, Bottom Springs is thrown into uproar, and Ruth realizes only she and Everett, an old friend with a dark past, have the power to comb the town's secret underbelly in search of true evil. We're not really getting so much from this, but this is basically thriller, mystery, horror. I think it's like kind of gothic. Yeah, like a gothic thriller, which I love, like gothic style things. And, you know, it's compared to like really highly rated books. It's from an author of a book that people love. So I'm super excited to check this out. Is that all for September, August, October? Oh my god, October 3rd. No, there's one more book on October 3rd. Wait, what did I type here? Here's Tides by Pascal Lassalle. Described as Ninth House meets A Deadly Education. Ninth House, I loved it so much. A Deadly Education, I haven't read it yet, but the premise sounds so cool. So when I heard that, I was like, this is definitely going to be dark academia vibes. So super excited. Let's go to the premise. Emery might be a student at the prestigious Aldrin Aldrin College for lunar magics, but her healing abilities have always been mediocre at best, until a treacherous night in the Devermere Sea Caves leaves a group of her classmates dead and her as the only survivor. Ooh. Now Emery is plagued by strange impossible powers that no healer should possess. Powers that would ruin her life if the wrong person were to discover them. To gain control of these new abilities, Emery enlists the help of the school's most reclusive student, Baz, a boy already well versed in the deadly nature of dark magic, whose sister happens to be one of the drowned students and Emery's best friend. Guys, I'm actually gonna cry. I just read through the blurb of this book just to realize that my camera wasn't filming, so I don't know where it cut off, but I'm like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? And that's it for October 3rd. Now moving on to October 5th. I have no idea what this book is about, but I read a book by this author this summer and I was so weirdly, unlike what I expected, obsessed with it. I was not expected to enjoy it as much as I did going in. So this is actually the third book in a 5-book series. I think they look like, oh my god, the covers are so pretty. They look like standalones. A single mom who's soaring off men and a sexy doctor who wants to change her mind. Already, we love that. With my little girl in tow, I pack up my Texas roots, seeking a fresh start in Landmark Mountains. The mountain is called Landmark. In Landmark Mountain. Leaving behind a trail of shattered trust and a cheating ex, the last thing I expect is to collide with a sexy stranger. Our first encounter is a whirlwind of heated words and fiery glares, but fate's twisted sense of humor places him right in my path. Not once, but many times over and over again. Why does Dr. Wyatt Landmark have to be related to my best friend's boyfriend? Ooh, okay. But Landmark has a way of softening my heart, both the man and the town. This place already feels like home, and Wyatt's interactions with my daughter reveal a side of him I hadn't expected. It isn't long before his small acts of kindness begin to chip away at the walls I've so carefully constructed around my heart. That, and the passion between us, I can't deny whenever he looks my way. Despite swearing off love, the resolve I've had is stripping away as Wyatt becomes more irresistible by the day. This author, I was really surprised by her, so definitely want to read the series. I'm sorry, I feel like I have something stuck in my throat. The next release that we're going to be going through is going to be released on October 10th, and this is kind of the follow-up of the Darker Shades of Magic series. I have not read that. I own all the books, have not been able to get to them yet. So this is the beginning of a 3-book series. What's the series called? It's the Threads of Power series, and this book is called The Fragile Threads of Power, once again by V. Schwab. From what I understood, you don't have to read A Darker Shade of Magic, but it's set in the same world, so I guess you're probably going to understand more if you read that series first. Once there were 4 worlds, nestled like pages in a book, each pulsing with fantastical powers and connected by a single city, London. Until the magic grew too fast and forced the world to seal the doors between them in a desperate gamble to protect their own. The few magicians who could still open the doors grew more rare as time passed, and now only 3 Antari are known in recent memory. Kel Maresh of Red London, Delilah Bard of Grey London, and Holland Vossage, I think so, of White London. But barely a glimpse of them has been seen in the last 7 years, and a new Antari named Kosika has appeared in White London, taking the throne in Holland's absence. The young queen is willing to free her city with blood, including her own, but her growing religious fervor has the potential to drown them instead. And back in Red London, King Rai Maresh, I think that's how you pronounce it, is threatened by the rising rebellion, one determined to correctly imbalance the power by raising the throne entirely, not immediately, entirely. Amidst this tapestry of old friends and new enemies, a girl with an unusual magic ability comes into possession of a device that could change the fate of all 4 worlds. Her name is Tess, and she's the only one who can bring them together or unravel it all. So obviously, right now, I don't really know much about what's going on, but I feel like once I read the Darker Shade of Magic series, getting to this, it's gonna make so much more sense, because I feel like the people who they talk about, these people are the main characters of the other series. That's what I understood. So yeah, excited to read that series, excited to get to this. I've only read one thing by V. Schwab, and I really loved her writing style, so I'm excited to dial back into this. And okay, on October 13th, we have a book from a series that I have not read yet, but I know people are in love with it, and that's Hopeless by Elsie Silver. I don't know nothing about the series. I feel like I don't want to know anything about the series going in, so I'm not gonna read through the blurb, but this is what the book looks like. The covers are actually so pretty. I don't know when I'm gonna get to this series, but I feel like beginning next year I do want to get through them, because I feel like this is the last book. Yeah, it's the last book of the series, so definitely that's on my like 24 books / series to read in 2024. Moving on to October 17th, we have Two Twisted Crowns by Rachel Gillig. Also, if you haven't done this already, like, grab a snack, grab a drink, because we're gonna be here for a while. This is the second book in a duology, so I'm gonna read you the blurb of the first one, because this is a book that I had on my radar. I haven't picked it up yet, but I've always been like, oh, this is a book that I really want to read. So the first book is called One Dark Window. Oh wow. I hope I don't butcher this. Elspeth needs a monster. The monster might be her. Elspeth Spindle, I feel like if I don't say it slowly, I'm gonna like bug, needs more than luck to stay safe in the eerie, mist-locked kingdom of Blunder. She needs a monster. She calls him the Nightmare, an ancient mercurial spirit trapped in her head. He protects her, he keeps her secrets. But nothing comes for free, especially magic. When Elspeth meets a mysterious highwayman on the forest road, her life takes a drastic turn. Thrust into a world of shadow and deception, she joins a dangerous quest to cure Blunder from the dark magic infecting it. And the highwayman, he just so happens to be the king's nephew, captain of the most dangerous men in Blunder, and guilty of high treason. I'm sorry, but I love when there's like a little like kind of like not stranger, but just like random person and then like royalty. That combination I love that in fantasy. Together they must gather 12 providence cards, the key to the cure. But as the stakes heighten and their undeniable attraction intensifies, Elspeth is forced to face her darkest secrets yet. The nightmare is slowly taking over her mind, and she might not be able to stop him. This sounds so good. Like, I feel like I'm definitely gonna pick up this. I don't know when I'm gonna pick up all these books, honestly. Like, I say I do want to read all these. I want to pick them all up, but I'm like, girl, when? Like, realistically, you see that behind me, full of books I have not read. You see this behind me, full of books I have not read. And I'm like, why are we considering buying more books? On October 24th, we have the third book in a series by Stephanie Garber. I'm not sure what it's called, but this third book is called A Curse of True Love. I know this is like built off of the Caraval series. I know people say you don't have to read the Caraval series first, but I do want to read the Caraval series before getting to this. So I don't know when I'm going to get to this book. I can't really say much about it because it's book 3, but super excited to get to this series. And then on October 24th also, we have King of Greed by Anna Huang. I recently started the Twisted series. Oh my god, it's so good. It's so good. I don't know the characters that this book is going to be built off of. I don't know if they're going to be talked about in the last 2 books of the Twisted series, because I just finished, well, not just finished, but I read recently Twisted Games. On my September TBR, I have Twisted Hate. So I don't know who these characters are about. I don't really want to read the blurbs because I feel like, you know, again, like with these books that I feel like I know I'm going to like, I don't want to like know what they're about. But yeah, so this is coming out October 24th. And the last few books that are coming out in October are on October 31st. So we have The Graham Effect by Elle Kennedy. I know a lot of people didn't really like her Good Girls, I think that's what it's called, series. But I feel like this one, it comes back to like college hockey. So I feel like that's what she's good at. I feel like this series might be better. I have not read the other series yet. I feel like I am going to give it a try just to like test it out for myself. But I don't really have high expectations based off what people are saying. But I finished the Off Campus. I finished the Braille series. I love them so much. So I feel like I'm definitely gonna like this series if it's like similar to Off Campus. Oh my god! Is she related to Garrett? I think she might be related to Garrett. Wait, is this like a spin-off of... I think this might be a spin-off because the main character is called Gigi Graham. Garrett Graham's cousin, sister, something like... he doesn't have a sister. I don't think he has a sister. It's probably his cousin, but oh my god, okay. This is intriguing me a tiny bit more. Gigi Graham has exactly 3 goals: qualify for the women's national hockey team, win Olympic gold, and step out of her famous father's shadow. Okay, I think she might be his sister. I really don't remember if he talked about having a sister, but I feel like it's probably his sister. So far, so good, except for 2 little things. fine. A little thing and a big grumpy thing. She needs to improve her game behind the net, and she needs help from Luke Ryder. Ryder is 6'5", built, opinionated, rude, and sexy as hell. But he's still the enemy. Bry's new hockey co-captain has his reasons though. The men's team just merged with a rival program, leaving Ryder with an angry roster where everyone hates one another's guts. That was hard. That was hard to say. To make matters worse, the summer coaching spot he's angling for with the legendary Garrett Graham is out of reach after he makes the worst possible first impression on his hero. So I think Garrett is coming back. Oh my god, I love Garrett. I love Garrett. Oh my god. I'm so excited. I'm so excited for this now. So really, this compromise with Gigi is win-win. He helps her make the national team. She puts in a good word with her dad. Oh my god. Wait, I think this series is gonna follow the kids. Oh my god, it's gonna be so... Oh, I'm so excited. This is gonna follow their kids. Oh my god. When this comes out, you know, October 31st, I'm not going to Halloween parties. I am sitting at home. I am reading this book. Oh, I'm so excited. I am so excited. Oh my god. If there's one book that you need to read in all of these that I'm like listing for you guys, this book. Read this book. Oh my god. A book that's coming out on the same day is Fire in the Flesh, which is the third book in the Flesh and Fire series, which is a spin-off of From Blood and Ash. I can't really say much about it because like obviously so much goes like before this, but it's a series that I have to dive into. There's like, I don't even know what the reading order is. I feel like I'm waiting for most of the books to come out, but at this point, if I just read one book like every 3 months, like I'm gonna be able to finish the series relatively soon. And I feel like I do have to like sit down one day and just like go through all my reading plans and be like, are these realistic or not? Because I don't know who I think I am, but I feel like I can read so much more than I actually can. Anyways, let's move on to November. We have, I think, 8 books that are coming out in November. So first, on November 7th, we have 3 books. The first one is Iron Flame by Rebecca Yarros. I have not yet read, oh my god, what's it called? Fourth Wing. Not yet, but it's on my September TBR, so I'm going to be reading it before the end of the month. I can't really tell you much about it. All I know is that everyone loved Fourth Wing, so I feel like I'm probably going to like it also. But yeah, book 2 comes out November 7th. Also, another book that comes out November 7th is a new book by Ali Hazelwood called Check and Mate. I don't know what it's about. I just saw Ali Hazelwood and I'm like, yes, add it to this list. I think it's a it's a YA book, but the cover is so pretty. Like, come on, this is so pretty. Mallory Greenleaf is done with chess. Every move counts nowadays. After the sport led to the destruction of her family 4 years earlier. Okay. Mallory's focus is on her mom, her sisters, and her dead-end job that keeps the lights on. That is, until she begrudgingly agrees to play in one last charity tournament and inadvertently wipes the board with notorious king killer Nolan Sawyer, I think. Current world champion and reigning bad boy of chess. Obviously, he's the reigning bad boy of chess. Nolan's loss to an unknown rookie shocks everyone. What's even more confusing, his desire to cross pawns again. What kind of gambit is Nolan playing? The smart move would be to walk away, resign, game over. But Mallory's victory opens the door to sorely needed cash prizes, and despite everything, she can't help feeling drawn to the enigmatic strategist. As she rockets up the ranks, Mallory struggles to keep her family safely separated from the game that wrecked it in the first place. And as her love for the sport she so desperately wanted to hate begins to rekindle, Mallory quickly realizes that the games aren't only on the board. The spotlight is brighter than she imagined, and the competition can be fierce, in brackets, attractive and intelligent and infuriating. It's an Ali Hazelwood book, so you know it's gonna be good. I know nothing about this book. I just know that it's from Lauren Asher. So we're discovering this together. This is the beginning of a new series. It's a 3-book series. Julian. If I ever caught on fire, Dahlia Munoz would fan the flames with a smile. So when she returns to Lake Wisteria, I fully intend to avoid the interior designer, at least until my meddling mother exploits my savior complex. The faster I help Dahlia find her creative spark, the sooner she will leave town. But while I was busy getting rid of Dahlia, I overlooked one potential issue. What happens if I want her to stay? Dahlia. People say the devil has many faces, but I know only one. Julian Lopez, my childhood rival and family frenemy. I vowed to steer clear of him while recovering from my broken engagement, but then the billionaire makes an irresistible offer. Renovate a historic house together and triple our profits. Our temporary truce becomes compromised as we face years worth of denied attraction and mixed emotions. Giving into our desire is inevitable, but falling in love, that isn't part of the plan. Ooh, I'm excited. I'm excited for this one. I have to read so many Lauren Ashley books before getting to this because I do want to read them in order. I've read Throttled. That's all. That's all. I have a long way to go. That's all for November 7th. So moving on to November 14th, we have Do Your Worst by Rosie Danan. It's a fun little cover. I like it. I like this more than her other covers. I haven't read anything by her yet, but I'm excited for this one. Sparks fly when occult expert and disgraced archaeologist become enemy with benefits in the steamy romance. Already that, I'm like, that's the most like random pairing, but I love it. Lily Rhodes finally has the chance to turn her family's knack for the supernatural into a legitimate business when she's hired to break the curse of an infamous Scottish castle. Used to working alone in her alienating occupation, she's pleasantly surprised to meet a handsome stranger upon arrival, until he tries to get her fired. Fresh off a professional scandal, Clark Elgware can't allow a self-proclaimed curse breaker to threaten his last chance at redemption. After he failed to get Riley kicked off his survey site, he vows to avoid her. Unfortunately for him, she vows to get even. Riley expects the curse to do her dirty work by driving Clark away, but instead they keep finding themselves in close proximity. Too close. Turns out the only thing they do better than fight is fool around. And if they're not careful, by the end of all this, more than the castle will end up in ruins. And I'm excited for this. Like, already when it's like a cult expert, I'm like, give it to me. I'm just kind of scared that this is going to be like My Killer Vacation, because I kind of get the same vibe from reading this and that, even though they're like completely different books. That's what I guess. But I was so let down by My Killer Vacation. So I'm kind of scared, but I'm also very intrigued. The last book that we're going to be talking about today is going to be released on November 28th, and it's Betting on You by Lynn Painter. The colors in this cover, so pretty. Like, so pretty. That's like literally my favorite shade of blue. Or green. I don't know. But super excited for this one. Even if it's a bad book, it's just like, it's going to look so pretty on my shelf. So, last little blurb of today's video. When 17-year-old Bailey starts a new job at a hotel water park, she's less than thrilled to see an old acquaintance is one of her co-workers. Bailey met Charlie a year ago on the long flights to Omaha, where she moved after her parents divorced. Charlie's cynicism didn't mix well with Bailey's carefully well-behaved temperament, and his endless commentary was the irritating cherry on top of an already emotional fraught trip. Now, Bailey and Charlie are still polar opposites, but instead of everything about him rubbing Bailey the wrong way, she starts to look forward to hanging out and gossiping about the water park's guests and their coworkers, particularly two who keep flirting with each other. Bailey and Charlie make a bet on whether or not the cozy pair will actually get together. Charlie insists that members of the opposite sex can't just be friends, and Bailey is determined to prove him wrong. Bailey and Charlie keep close tracks of the romantic progress of others, while Charlie works to deflect the growing feelings he has developed for Bailey. Terrified to lose her if his crush becomes known, what doesn't help his agenda is Bailey and Charlie's fake dating in order to disrupt the annoying pleasantries between Bailey's mom and her mom's new boyfriend. Soon, what Charlie was hoping to avoid becomes a reality as Bailey starts to see him as not only a friend she can rely on in the midst of family drama, but someone who makes her hands shake and heart race. But Charlie has a secret that involves Bailey and another bet Charlie may have made. Oh my god, this is gonna get messy. Can the two make a real go at things, or has Charlie's secret doomed them before they could start? This is gonna get messy. And my camera's about to die, so that's perfect. I feel like this is gonna take forever, hours to edit. But I'm looking at my, the audio's like over an hour long, and I'm like, yikes. But I hope that I could show you guys a few books that you didn't know were coming out and discover new authors, because a lot of these authors I don't know who they are. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any like new other books, if you have any other books that are coming out that you're excited to read, definitely leave them down below so we can all go check them out If you want to see a reading vlog for anything here, definitely let me know, because I am trying to get as many reading vlogs out as possible to like get through these two like shelves that I feel like they're never ending. They literally never end. But yeah, as I mentioned before, all my socials are linked down below. My TikTok, my Instagram, my Goodreads, if you want to go follow me along over there. And yeah, is there anything else to say? I don't think so. I'm gonna go now before my camera dies and I literally just have to charge to say bye. But stay safe, protect your vibe, and I'll see you all next time. Bye. Ow. 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 Bye, guys.